Welcome to the Spooktacular. Wow.
Yeah.
Hardy fucked
words
that
are
up.
hard.
Spooktacular version of Getting Weird.
We're oogie scoopy skeletons.
What?
Really? You didn't get that reference?
No.
Spooky, scary skeletons and shivers down your spine.
What is it from?
It's an old song.
Oh.
Internet, you can go ahead and troll them now.
At least we didn't try to eat little kids.
What?
Who tried to do that?
The
three
witches.
witches?
The witches.
I instantly got what you said.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Halloween Town, right?
No.
No,
Becca.
but that is a classic.
Bex, that's your favorite movie. I'm surprised you didn't want to correct.
Hocus Pocus.
Was the remake any good?
I was waiting to... It wasn't a remake. It was the second one.
Yeah, they made a second one.
Hocus
I didn't watch
Hocus.
it. The first one's the only one that matters to
Ian
me.
gave me a whole bunch of crap because I was going to watch it without him, and I'm still waiting for him to watch it with me.
Oh.
This has been a year later.
Yes.
Oh.
It is.
Oh, well. Welcome to the Spooktacular version of Getting Weird. Meatball, go ahead and spin that shit.
Okay. Boo. Did I scare you?
There you go.
Oh, God.
Show's over. We got you.
All right, that's it, guys. Have a good one.
That's all we needed. Anyway, welcome to Getting Weird. I'm Kill. We do have a special show for you guys today, but it won't happen until the last half of the show. So that means you actually have to stick around and listen to our normal shit.
Hey, where can you find us?
I was getting there.
I
Guess
was
what?
building
This
you into it.
podcast is on YouTube at Getting Weird Pod. That is the @ symbol at Getting Weird Pod. Like, subscribe, comment. Make sure you leave a comment. And
Ring
if
the
you're,
bell.
yeah, ring the bell. Whatever. We're not in a fucking wrestling match or whatever. But
Ding, ding, ding.
But anyway, if you do listen to us on YouTube, go ahead and drop that comment, subscribe, give us the fun laughter time of commenting.
Give us a like.
There you go.
That'd be nice.
That too. And if you're listening to us elsewhere, you guys know where to find us. Spotify, Apple Podcast, Spreaker, anywhere podcasts are sold.
Podcasts aren't sold. They're
Hey.
produced.
Doesn't matter. I'm sticking to that.
Okay.
Anyway, guys, we got a good show today. But I'm going to pass it around the room real quick, and we're going to go real quick on this one. Meatball, how you doing?
Tired.
That's it?
Tired. A lot of flips into water. That's
I was
about all.
actually surprised he actually can do a backflip.
Wow.
This is true.
A gainer?
No, not that good.
Okay.
No, yeah, those were some pretty nice flips into the water.
Some
I'm not
flips
gonna
and
lie.
shit?
Yeah, I looked like a young Jeff Hardy out there.
Oh. I like it.
Yeah, but yeah, just tired.
Coming off the rope.
Just tired. That's all it is, really. Gingy, how about you, man? How things going?
As long as we don't talk about the fantasy league today, I think I'll be good.
Well,
Well, joke's on you. We will.
No.
it's okay. Don't worry. We're gonna keep it brief today.
Like boxer brief?
Yes.
Got it.
You're so stupid.
I know.
Bex. Bex, how are you over there?
Same. Tired. Been a long day. We spent, what,
Several
4 or
hours.
5 hours at the beach today with a bunch of children.
Yeah, that sounds about accurate.
Yeah, Meatball was there.
Yeah. It was fun, though.
It was fun.
He's a
It
child
was
at
fun.
heart.
The kids had fun. I mean, our youngest had no nap today, so she definitely went to bed early.
Yeah, she was done by like about the time she got
By
done.
like 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
Nice. That's the best. When they just party too hard and clunk out.
Yeah. But
It's like me in my 30s.
no, it
Yeah.
was fun. It was a good time. Some really good food.
Yeah, that food was actually on point. I kind of want to know what he puts on that chicken and pork.
Yeah, that chicken was really good.
It's a family recipe.
Probably.
Speaking of pork, Meatball has a big ass metal
Tray of
pan of it over
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, this is my dinner probably for the next few days here.
Well,
Kel, how you doing?
I'm tired as well. Still have to go to work. Not looking forward to that.
Nope.
Boo.
I mean-
Sunday episodes.
Yeah,
I gotta-
that's a bad point.
I gotta get up and get kids ready for school and stuff. Kenzie's got her Girl Scout ceremony tomorrow.
I forgot they do that still.
Girl Scout cookies coming soon. It's
They
gonna
are.
be great. Gonna get so much.
Go for it.
You definitely know I'm gonna be spending like at least $40 on freaking cookies. So
Anyway, for the guys watching, not guys, wow. Anyway,
Guys
for
and
the
gals.
guys and gals,
for our weirdos,
yes, watching, we are literally sitting in the dark right now, almost dark.
Got candles lit.
No, we don't.
Got a Ouija board on the table.
Okay, what kind of podcast do you think that we're on?
actually, we have a Luigi board.
My mom had a horror story with the Ouija board, and I will never touch one.
No, we are not doing that on a live thing. So don't even go there.
Board.
Also-
Ouija board.
Also, it's a Luigi board. All right. He goes, Yahoo!
Yeah. Oh.
And you said my thing was dumb.
What thing?
When I said the boxer brief comment, you said that was dumb.
I'm
That
building
was
an
dumb.
atmosphere for our viewers, and you just destroyed it. So there's nothing you can say or do for me to be on your side.
Okay, but anyway,
Fair enough. Oh,
That was pretty fucking
yeah, that
solid.
was solid. That was
I
a
know.
nice soda crack.
thank you. I worked on that for years.
Not a practice.
But anyway, Kill, I know you've been having some interesting thoughts pass your mind as of late. So what do you got for us today?
Okay, so the first thing before we start our scary, creepy, spooky edition
Scary stories.
is I was watching another podcast the other day about like
Are you cheating on us?
no.
Oh,
No. It's like porn, but you don't it's not cheating. Anyway, so do y'all remember the like show Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide?
Yeah.
great
Okay.
show, banger of a
All right,
show.
they have a podcast now, the three of them.
Oh, yeah.
Called Ned's Declassified Podcast Survival
Wow.
Guide. Yeah, it's very original. But it's the three of them from the show, and they do a podcast, and it's a very adult version of it now. And
Nice.
But good show. I find it kind of fun to listen to. But they brought up something the other day about him, and he had bad breath, and they're like, we're going to start doing this thing where you can like, we should invent this thing called Smell the Podcast, so people can
Smell-o-vision?
Yes. So that's where I was going with this. Have you ever heard of Smell-o-vision?
I was a kid in the 90s, yes. You get the card, and it would give you a little symbol, and you were supposed to sniff the card.
Yes.
That time.
I'm pretty sure that's a scratch and sniff, though, is it not?
No.
I mean, it was.
No, there was also something called the Smell-o-rama, which is this thing someone in the 60s was trying to invent that while your TV was playing, it would blow weird scents into
yeah.
your living room so you could smell what was going on in the...
The napalm?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Jesus.
I kind of like get that, but not entirely. Mostly because I watched all of Futurama, obviously. So I had like
Scope?
yeah, the smelloscope. That's like the closest thing that I have like an idea of. But I feel like it would have been just like what it like you'd be able to smell what's going on in the show. Like if they were in a cigar scene or some shit, you'd be able to like smell the cigar smoke and all that, or like smell the bourbon.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool, I would say.
So there is one, though, that they've invented that's like, it's called the Vapo something or another, and it plugs into like your computer or your TV or whatever, and while you're playing video games, like say it's actually only available for 2 games right now, which is like Minecraft Exploration, or then there's one that's for like some exploration VR game. It's based on VR right now. And so while you're going through these sensations in the thing, it has these little vials of like oil or whatever, and each individual fan is connected to that oil vial. And while you're playing, when you go like past water, then all of a sudden you get the scent of water,
Like the ocean breeze,
yeah,
kinda
ocean
deal.
breeze kind
That's
of
pretty
thing,
cool.
and then sand. You get the scent of sand if you're in the desert or whatever. And so my question for you guys is, how do you think that that's going to be something that people are going to get into, or is it just kind of dumb?
It's kind of dumb. You guys remember 3D? All our TVs had it. All the consoles were supposed to be able to play with it. PlayStation really leaned into it. Do you have a 3D TV right now?
No. I mean, unless you watch someone in 3D, but you can't like...
You don't get the
Yeah.
Blu-rays that are in 3D anymore.
Yeah.
I think it's. But when you mentioned the VR, that's where it also kind of turned, because I'm like, they make suits now where if you get like touched, you can feel like somebody touching you, like if they were touching you in VR. So maybe, but like cost wise, I think it's stupid because you would have to refill the vials every time they ran out, kind of like printer ink.
Yep, basically it's kind of the same kind of concept.
To me, it's just like a waste.
I don't know. What do you think?
I think it would be interesting if it was more sustainable.
Now, don't get me wrong, though. Before you go on, I would try it, though. Try it just to be like, okay, cool. I've one and done that. Now, go on.
So I'll agree in the sense that it would be fun to do it, but I feel like until there's a way to make it more sustainable in the fact that you don't have to waste as much money going into it, and you know, like instead of having to refill pods or whatever the hell that they're using, you know, it's like a consistent space. It's like, hey, you're near the ocean, you're going to smell the ocean air. If you're, you know, in the jungle, you're going to be smelling that fresh air because you're in the jungle, you know.
The swamp.
You'll smell Shrek's armpits.
I I do think it is a very interesting concept. Do I think it'll last, though? No, most likely not.
I don't think it'll last solely because people won't buy it.
I mean,
it would be easier to trick your brain into thinking
you got to think about it, right? Because we had 3D that didn't really work out too well.
Then we had 4D.
Then we had 4D, and that didn't really work out too well. So the ideas are amazing, especially because of what we can conceptualize now, especially with all the scientific data that we have and with, you know, all these bright, brilliant young minds that are coming up. But I just don't think it's something that is going to stick around for a long time.
Now, before I go on from this, there's like 3 of them in the country. There's movie theaters.
Yeah.
That do this. That's not like the spraying movie theater where it like sprays you in the face with like water like some
Didn't
of them
they
do.
have that at Universal Studios?
They might. That might be where these are. But
Universal Studios, yeah, they have like it's like a 3D show that you can watch that has stuff like that.
Like Sense?
Yeah, like
spray.
Sense. And then at California Adventures, they had a ride, the Soarin' Over California, where when you soar
I know what that is.
over the like orange
Fields, you could smell the
fields,
oranges.
yeah. And you could smell like the different things. So yeah, there's like rides and stuff like that. I think that's doable, but like having it in your house, I think that's dumb and a waste of money.
But also at the same time, going back on that, the movie that you're referring to, I think might be 10,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Well, no,
I thought it was Terminator.
Yeah, there was like a Terminator, I think,
or the Xenomorphs.
or something like that.
I might be wrong. I might be
the one at
mixing up my
Universal
stuff.
Studios.
Well, like anyway, so do you think that would be cool to go, like, say you went to a traditional theater and you were watching a movie and you could smell everything that was going on, like, in the movie. Like, and I'm going to use an example. Like Die Hard. You could smell everything that was going on in Die Hard.
I don't want to smell.
No, because you're gonna be smelling Bruce Willis the whole time.
You
really want to smell Bruce Willis?
Sweat, blood, and tears.
And Christmas.
And Christmas.
And Creamy
Time. It's a Christmas movie.
It is.
It is a Christmas
movie.
It is
a Christmas movie,
No,
folks.
I think for some movies it would be cool.
I would say
in the
like
movie theaters,
like the classic Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Or like
I don't know.
Or like a lot of the Dr. Seuss movies.
Yeah.
Like I feel like Horton Hears a Who.
What does that smell like?
I feel like
Willy Wonka would be a really
that's a good one.
But I think to do it in a movie theater, that would be cool. But I don't think it's something they should put out for people in their homes.
Smells from Fury.
Anyway, that was a good
Mad
topic.
Max.
I like that. Oh, that'd be awful too.
Yeah, that'd
smell of death.
Yeah, literally
and sweat.
Literally death everywhere.
Avatar.
Jesus.
Avatar.
That one
Avatar
would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I actually wouldn't
The
mind
smell
that.
of the poison air on Pandora. Everybody dies. Whole movie theater's dead.
Who would have known it smelled just like methane?
Jesus. Carbon monoxide. Wait, that doesn't have a smell. Anyway, Meatball, you know what time it is.
Of course, everyone, it's time for that fantasy football update. That's right, folks. You heard it here first. Fantasy football update, week 7. 7 weeks into this season, and by God.
I lost in both leagues, and I still don't fucking like it.
Yeah, well, you know, you win some, you lose some, all right?
I fell asleep.
So, we're not going to get too into the nitty-gritty this week because we want to give you guys an awesome second portion of this show, so we're just going to go ahead right into it. So, currently in last place right now, the man who has more name changes than wins this season, my old man, as I needed Brockton to win.
I'm playing him this week.
Yeah. Then you got my brother Booney coming in at 2-5, and then I'm sitting in at 6 today at 3-4. Kill is sitting at 5th at 3-4. Gingy is sitting at 4th with 4-3. Bex is sitting in right now at 5-2. Brockton is sitting at 5-2, and then at the top is Meatball 2.0 at 6-1. So it's a pretty crazy week. You know, everybody's doing good. Everybody's been playing their asses off, at least to the best of their ability. Oh, I got something here. Ouch.
Yeah, that one was terrible compared to yours. I think I held it too long.
You did. It took too long.
Yeah, but... Oh, boy, sorry about that, everyone. That was my...
Damn, where'd that come from?
I thought it was you.
That came from
him.
No, that came from my throat. That was a bad one. But, yeah, it's week 7. That's where the standings are sitting right now. We're going to be going into week 8. And once my scoreboard decides to show up here about who's playing who this week, it's going to be easier. There we go. So, week 8, myself, I am playing against myself 2.0.
Nice. Get a win, bro.
Currently down by 37 points. And then Booney is playing Bex this week. And then Gingy is playing my old man this week. And then Kill is playing against Brockton this week. So, all good games. As much as I would like to see Gingy still being in the top 4, I would like to see my old man get a win.
He might. He's slotted to win.
Yeah, you know what they always say, though. You're slotted to win until you lose.
Gingy's about to fall to that trap game, bro.
But... that's more or less the update this week for fantasy football. I know it's not usually what you would expect, but we are trying to cut it down a little bit more so we can give more time to our bigger segment that we have going on this week. So,
well, that was good. Yeah, I lost in both leagues, and it was kind of hard. I lost to my wife too, so
all my players were off. I couldn't do anything. Even my bench players were off. I was like, oh, no.
Yeah, it's
That's when you start dropping people.
Yeah,
it's a rough week for everyone. And, you know, things happen. It's just another game at the end of the day. And, you know, I feel like it's actually bringing us a lot closer together now that we all kind of share something more in common now with playing like a sport or something like that.
Yeah.
Damn.
Excuse me. Needed to burp off air there because that was rough.
Fanta, don't you want to?
No, I don't want to.
But you guys got anything else going on?
No,
nothing crazy.
Nothing.
No.
I mean, seeing if I can get that win.
Seeing if you can get that win. Yeah. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I'm kind of excited.
Excited about what?
You know, just things going on and with. Hold on, guys. I think we're having some technical difficulties. Can you just hold on?
It's neat.
And welcome back to Getting Terrified. Oh, wait, no, it's Staying Weird. Wait.
We're still on Getting Weird. Oh. What fucking technical difficulty was that? Damn it.
The Ouija board says we're still getting weird.
Oh, nice. It is dark in this place, though.
Yeah, it is. And
who keeps turning off the lights?
The hash-slinging slasher.
The hash-slinging slasher.
So, yeah, welcome to the scary story portion of our show. Ooh. So, because Halloween is right around the corner, obviously, and
you can touch it
and smell it.
But
candy corn for days.
I'll eat the tips.
I love candy corn.
But we all decided to go ahead and reach back into our memory banks of our childhoods and our childhood homes.
Ooh.
And we wanted to go ahead and bring out some stories or some legends that we had back when we were living in our old hometowns.
Oh, yes.
And in that sense, we can really more or less kick off with anybody at this point. So,
well, since we have the person that came up with this, and who has a lot of fucking things to say.
Hey, man, I'm from the South. We got nothing but scary stories.
Why don't we just kick it off with the Ginger?
I got 3 tales to tell.
3?
And of the 3, you decide which of the 2 of the 3 is true.
Apparently, someone was very ambitious this week.
You're ambitious.
Don't talk to my wife like that.
She goes to college. Okay, we'll start.
Been there, done that.
So, first tale I'm going to tell is about the Friendship Cemetery. I'm from a small town in Mississippi. One of our claims to fame is we have a Civil War cemetery, which is known as Friendship Cemetery. Don't ask me why. That's the name, but that's the name. It is one of the most haunted cemeteries in Mississippi. It's got a lot of history. And one of the most famous headstones there has been struck by lightning like 4 or 5 times. It never stands up. They're always having to re-erect it and all that stuff. It's from a Civil War vet. Name is Sam, and nobody can read his last name because it's got washed off. But they say on a full moon, if you go in the Friendship Cemetery, and you walk up to his grave, and you knock on it, and you go, "Hey, Sam, what you doing?" And he'll reply with, "Nothing." And if you get the joke, that's points for you. But the second story, another claim to fame for my small town, is Mississippi State University for Women, the W.
Go Bulldogs?
They were Bulldogs, but it was back when they segregated schools for men and women. This is way, way back in the day. And being back in the day, they were very, I don't want to say pretentious, but very old-fashioned, where girls and guys had to be separated, and if you had to get picked up, you had to, like, know somebody who knew somebody in the dorm to go get the person that you wanted to talk to, because you weren't even allowed to step foot in the dorm. So there was a girl, her and her friend, roommates, right? They started talking to some of these guys that went to Mississippi State University, and they were having a great old time. So when you were growing up, you probably remember seeing those stories about the 2 lovers at Lover's Lane, and then the radio cuts on. This just in. Man escapes from mental health facility, blah, blah, blah. Known and dangerous, armed. Stay inside, lock your doors, don't go out until he's apprehended. The story goes, because there was a mental health hospital, an insane asylum, not too far from the W, right? And just like those hotels, this actually happened. This girl, she was seeing a guy. They weren't serious. They weren't not serious, but, you know, she thought she'd give him a chance. And they hit up a diner, her and her roommate. She's also doing the double date thing. They're both talking. She's like, I just want to go home. I'm not feeling good. I think I ate something bad. So she left early. Guy takes her, drops her off at the dorm. He's like, hey, I'm just going to head back to MSU. You do your thing, man, and I'll see you later. The girl and the guy, they chat a little bit. She's like, yeah, I just want to go home. And it's getting close to like 1 o'clock. And, she didn't want to get in trouble or anything like that. So she gets home. She sneaks in. And she goes to bed. Now, throughout the whole week, they've been hearing about this insane asylum escapee, but nobody was taking it really serious. Small town, he would get caught eventually. Not a big deal. She goes to bed, sneaks in, lays down, and she kept feeling the bunk, because they were in bunk beds, the bunk bed rock. And she would kick it, say, hey, be quiet, I'm trying to sleep. Stop moving, you're being annoying. She kept going that over and over and over again. She kept hearing this noise, and she couldn't figure out what the fuck was going on. It was driving her absolutely crazy. Finally, she stood up and looked at the top bunk, and she saw that her friend was dead, and there was a man sitting on the top bunk eating her arm. And the last local legend from my small town is the story of the three-legged lady. She has haunted this. Now, I know a lot of people are like, three-legged lady, what does that mean? And then there might be some really crude people who are saying, oh, it's a girl with the dick.
I mean,
I'm looking at you.
I was gonna say it's 2023.
Not a girl with the dick. Back in the day, and there's multiple ways the story is told, and I'm going to give two of the most prominent ones. First one was when we were just dabbling in insecticides and fertilizers make our crops grow bigger, faster, stronger. A lot of that water would wash away into people's wells and rivers and stuff like that. So they were drinking contaminated water, and it was causing birth defects where people would be born with one eye missing, like they just have one eye where one was supposed to be and the other one just be like solid skin. Or they were born with extra toes, or just weird stuff like that. And it wasn't uncommon.
Kind of ranks up there with a bearded lady.
Kind of. But it was common enough that we started really looking into what we were putting into our water sources. And she would happen to be born with 3 legs. And she swore she was the fastest one around. She got bullied about it, and she ultimately took her own life. That's story number 1. Story number 2 is there was a woman, she was pregnant, and her baby died in utero. She delivered a stillborn. She was devastated. So she prayed and prayed and prayed for God to save her baby, but he never did. So she went to the devil, and the devil said, I will take the leg of your baby and stick it onto you. If you collect the rest of the body parts, you can use that leg and bring back your baby. Both these stories converge into one point. These are the true details of it. There is a road. It's known as Three-Legged Lady Road. It is a old dirt road. It's still used normally, but they don't pave it. They don't put anything down on it. It's just a dirt road. There's houses along the street. Supposedly the KKK have their meetings out there. I don't know if that's true or not. But it's an old wooded dirt road. And if you're driving on that road at night and you hear on the back of your hood as you're driving, that means the three-legged lady wants to race. Now, you have 2 things you can do. 1, you race the three-legged lady and you accept the responsibilities. Or 2, you stop, turn around, and go back the way you came. If you race the three-legged lady and you lose, she will steal a body part from you. You don't know which one, but she will steal it to bring back her baby. So one of the big tests of manhood, the courage test that we did when I was growing up is, in the middle of the night on the full moon, we go down Three-Legged Lady Road, You turn off your headlights and you drive until you hear on the back of your hood. And never heard it, but it was still the scariest thing I've ever done.
Okay. So I'm taking a guess that we're guessing which one is not the true story.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna say this right now. The three-legged lady one sounds actually pretty real.
It is.
I feel like that's a very true one because you went into so much detail about it that, like, there's no way that you could have done that offhand.
No.
And I believe the fact that you probably did try to do the whole frickin' test of courage thing at one point.
Multiple times.
Okay.
Still no knock?
Well, there's other things you can do. You can go to the cemetery that's off of Three-Legged Lady Road and try to find her grave. And there's a lot of little things you can do with it.
So then that leaves what? The MSUW?
Mississippi State University for Women.
And then you also have what? The other one was the
Friendship Cemetery.
So I have a feeling that the Friendship Cemetery one actually also is true. Because I don't think that Mississippi State ever split its stuff into two different universities for men and women.
You're wrong.
Really?
You're 100% wrong.
So Friendship
Cemetery is also true. If you knock on Sam's grave, he will say nothing. That's the joke.
Okay.
But
see, I missed half that one too, so it was like I had
I had a biology teacher. He would tell that story every year, and like I always laughed at it because the other kids were like, "Can we find Sam's grave?" And he's like, "Yeah, you can totally find it. Knock on it, and he'll say nothing." You get it?
I kind of feel like an idiot for saying that now.
But so Mississippi State University, a lot of colleges were split, and what the W is mostly focused on right now is nursing degrees, arts, stuff like that. It's co-ed now, so it's not just for women anymore. But back in the day, it was just for women, and it is a true story. Someone had escaped the insane asylum and was cannibalizing a poor girl's roommate in her dorm.
Yikes.
So there's a little merit to those old tales.
I did like the three-legged lady one. That one kind of gave me a little shiver. Not gonna lie.
I will admit, because like listening to it, you were telling that one like you knew it, like it was nothing.
Well, that's all you ever heard when I was growing up, because it wasn't like a every Halloween kind of thing or every full moon kind of thing. It was a legitimate thing that kids talked about from middle school to high school. It's like, oh man, my dad took me down Three-Legged Lady Road, and I thought I heard the knock, and he's like, oh, we better go fast.
Do you want to go next, or do you want Bex to go next?
Bex, you want to go?
Sure, why not? So, mine is on the Whaley House. It's in San Diego, California.
Ooh. San Diego, German for a whale's vagina.
Yeah.
I don't think that's what it means.
So I was going between this one or the Queen Mary, but I picked this one because I think a lot of people kind of know a little bit about the Queen Mary. But the Whaley House, the Whaley House it's in like one of the busiest parts of San Diego. It's in like Old Town San Diego. And it's surrounded by like bars and restaurants and stores. And it's also now become like a historical, it's always been historical, but
now it's a landmark?
It's a landmark, and it's a museum. They turned it into a museum, and you can go do tours and stuff. And I've been there many times. I think Ian's been there at least once. He went with us.
Well, we walked through it during the daytime.
Yeah, we went and did the tour during the daytime.
No, it's just an old like cottage style
It's an old cottage style house.
House.
It's made out of bricks.
Yeah.
It's a 2-story brick house that John Whaley built out of bricks from his bricks that he made from his brick company, yeah.
Factory?
Brick factory. There you go. Thank you. But so the Whaley house was originally, before it was built, it was there. That was the site of the hanging of a Yankee thief that was named Jim Robinson.
What is a Yankee thief?
Well, he was a Yankee, so he was from New York, and he was a thief. But he was trying to steal. He was a boat thief.
Oh.
And so he got hung. That was the site that he got hung at. And they say that Mr. Whaley was actually there for the hanging. And still, after that, decided to purchase the land and build on it. Which I think is kind of creepy.
No, it makes sense. Cheap.
Well,
it
probably was cheap.
There's already a hanging there.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be cheap.
It's super cheap.
True. But sorry.
Man used bricks from his own factory. He didn't buy them. He just used the ones that he had.
Yeah, he used the bricks from his own factory, and he built the 2-story house for him and his wife. And then they had many kids there. And they had an 18-month-old child that ended up dying there of scarlet fever. Died inside the house. And people say that you can still hear the sounds of him giggling, and you can hear sounds of him crying, and you hear sounds of him walking around.
That's my big nope. I can't do ghost babies. That's nope.
Yeah, that's kind of creepy. Yeah, especially the laughing, the sounds of kids or
Just
babies
go and pee and you hear a
laughing and
baby laugh in your
giggling.
ear.
That creeps me out.
Oh God.
And then a few months after their 18-month-old son died, his factory burned down, or his general store burned down in a fire. Someone set fire to Mr. Whaley's general store. And then after that, they decided to move the whole family to San Francisco.
Makes sense.
Yeah. And then a few years later, they moved back to the Whaley house, back to San Diego, and ended up living there again. And supposedly, they had the baby die there. They had many of their children died there. Thomas Whaley, Mr. Whaley, died there. His wife also died there. Sorry, I'm trying not to cough. And they had... I know, I'm trying. They had many servants that died there also. One thing that I think is really creepy about the Whaley house is that there is a cemetery for all of the family members that have died in the backyard.
Back when you could do that. You can't do that anymore.
No, yeah, you can't do that anymore. But yeah, back then, and you can see which I didn't even see anything when I was reading about it to kind of refresh my memory on it. But I remember that from going there. And there's a shed out in the back that I think either the gardener or one of the servants had died in. And that's supposed to be haunted also. But they say that Jim Robinson also haunts the place. And there's been many police stories that have come out after the fact. Some police officers that have seen ghost sightings there did not release their stories until after they retired because they didn't want to be laughed at. But there's been one officer said he got calls from neighbors saying that there was somebody crying. There was a woman outside of the house crying. And when he got there, he saw an old woman out there crying in period-style clothing. And when he asked her if she was okay, she started laughing. Sorry.
Not gonna lie, I'd probably turn around and leave.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I'm done. Yep, case closed, done. I'm not
And
doing
then-
this
Here's
anymore.
my badge.
After-
Here's my gun. I'm done.
After that, he went to shine his flashlight on her, and she was gone. She had disappeared.
Well, isn't that just typical for most ghosts? They just they appear and then they go up and they go away.
Well,
They
the
just
thing
disappear.
I'm upset is they're wasting taxpayer dollars with these false alerts and crimes.
Okay, Karen, calm down.
That's my money.
Calm down.
This was a very, very long time ago, so it technically wasn't your money.
She got you on that.
Listen, money's like water. It's been around since the dinosaurs, all right?
But it wasn't yours. And then there was another story that one of the caretakers of the property, one of the tour people, like the people in charge of the tours of the property, was locking up after everyone had left one night. And as he was locking up, he heard and felt the presence of somebody. And it freaked him out so much that he forgot to finish setting the alarm. And so that caused the alarm to go off. And when a police officer arrived, there was somebody there. And he went and was, trying to talk to him and see what was going on. And he believes that it was possibly Mr. Whaley. And it freaked him out so bad that he, ran off. And he's the main one who didn't tell the story of what happened until after he was leaving the force and retiring. But the crazy thing, too, I think about the Whaley house is they had a parlor, like a theater parlor inside of it, and also a courthouse inside of it. Was built into it.
Necessities.
He was the judge,
yeah.
jury, and executioner.
Yeah, pretty much. So there's a lot of stuff that has gone on in that house. It's pretty crazy. They also say there is a ghost cat and a ghost dog that walk around on the property.
I've seen a ghost dog.
You've seen a ghost cat?
No.
You said dog.
Oh, dog.
Yeah, I've seen a ghost dog, but not a ghost cat.
Yeah,
I can show you one.
I mean, I think, like, as many stories as I've read and I've heard of people actually saying things that they've experienced there, it's kind of creepy thinking. Like, it's really creepy for me to think about. But at the same time, I feel like it'd be kind of cool to do one of the ghost tours at night that they do to see if you actually come across anything. And
Yeah,
they
that's
say
a big
you can
no for
feel
me.
Mr. Whaley will sometimes go and be smoking a cigar, and he'll actually blow the cigar smoke at people as they're walking by
Fucking
the
gangster.
house.
Just like,
I mean, shit. When you're dead, you might as well just start doing shit to people.
you look like a bitch.
You probably can't hear him, but you go, "Oh shit, oh
They
shit."
have the fucking thing going. Bitch.
Fucking Ouija board. What did he say? Bitch.
He just keeps calling us
Yeah,
a bitch. You guys smell cigars? Mr.
But no,
Whaley,
it's-
no, I have asthma.
There's supposed to be a lot of really... And
Bitch.
the Whaley house is actually supposed to be the most haunted house, or the most haunted place in America.
I thought the Winchester house was the most haunted house.
I don't know. I thought it was also, but when I was reading the stuff on the Whaley house, it said it's the most haunted place in America.
Interesting, because I would have thought that
think.
that the House of Seven Gables in Salem, Massachusetts, would
Yeah.
be the most haunted place in America.
First of all, why are there 7 of us?
Shut up.
Well,
Who?
I'm
Who?
Monday Gable. You're Tuesday Gable. So it's just a Gable for every day of the week.
Because, this says, worldwide it is known as the most haunted house in America.
Nice.
But every haunted house says that, though.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true.
Pretty sure
If only there was this team of ghost hunters that could find these things out for us.
I'm not going to lie.
Pretty sure
I love
that
watching Ghost Hunters.
You said most haunted house?
Yeah.
Okay, I was about to say, because there's something right up the road from you guys in San Francisco called Alcatraz that's probably more haunted than that is.
Birdman was there.
But you said haunted house. That's why I made you clarify. I was
Yes.
like, so haunted house, maybe.
Yes, but...
The Copper Queen in Arizona is haunted.
Hmm?
The Copper Queen. It's a hotel in some old copper mining town. I forget what it's called. But it's a weird town. Like, you go there and it just feels weird. Everything feels off.
Well, I mean, have you ever been to Las Cruces, New Mexico?
No.
So Las Cruces, the places around there, they really support this, and they like have their fun fair, whatever. But that's where Billy the Kid was.
He didn't die.
So I don't know if he was from there or if he died there. One of the two. It was one of those two, and they really you see Billy the Kid shit everywhere, and this and this and this.
The claim of fame.
But it's kind of one of those things that it's like you still get this like weird, eerie, old like Pueblo America, kind of vibe from Las Cruces, and it's like, all right,
That's how it is, kind of like with Copper Queen. Not the Pueblo, but you could tell like beginning of industrial age, mining, getting very intense kind of feeling. It's next to Tombstone.
oh nice.
Yeah. We did that. Tombstone, and then we stayed the night at the Copper Queen.
I'm your Huckleberry.
I'll be your Huckleberry. You want to go?
Oh, you want me to go, or do you want to go?
I don't care.
I mean, it's whatever at this point.
You can go.
Okay.
I feel like yours is probably on point too.
So
Thank you, Bex, by the way, for sharing.
So I have, I guess, technically two.
Go.
So my first one is the one that I actually looked up for the show. The other one's actually personal account. So
What is your personal account?
I'll talk about that after. So in 1930, the Chicago area asylums were getting overcrowded and overfilled, and they needed to find spaces where it wasn't like the asylums weren't too far away from Chicago, but also far enough away to where land was cheap.
Mm-hmm.
So they decided to come down to Kankakee County, my hometown county, and they built a mental hospital in a little town called Manteno. It's only about 15 minutes away from where I live. And, well, where I used to live, at least. So this was built because, people are fucking crazy during that time, and they needed to get these people into other places and get them the treatment that they needed. If you know anything about American history, mental asylums were not the greatest. And there was a lot of very bad shit that happened in this mental asylum. So back, and obviously this was built before World War II, so there's like a lot of things going on before all of that. So when this all started, there was staff shortages because not enough people wanted to work there and all that. Like World War II was going on like 10 years after the fact when it opened. So they were starting to get all of those patients from World War II, and dealing with the PTSD and everything, and wartime mentality was going in, so they weren't really focused as much on care to the people that were there already. They were more focused on the people that were out at war. So there would be people fleeing the facility, at least 200, and there's reports of SA and basically a lot of fucked up shit, negligence, abuse, shit that was normal for mental hospitals to do at that time. Doctors would go in and try to assess the asylums, try and make it to where it was a little bit better. However, they were only just going to, conduct their crazy experiments. Electroshock therapy.
I was about to say, doesn't the brain just need a jump start to be fixed?
Yeah, that's one of the big things.
Definitely it.
What about this ice pick to your eyeball? Maybe that will fix it.
Yeah, so electroshock therapy, lobotomies, more or less a lot of the stuff that you've heard from mental asylums was going on there during that time. And it was ridiculous to see what was going on with all of that. And prior to the 1950s, so we've already been about 20-ish years at this point, there was at least a confirmed result of over 400 dying patients just in 1941 alone. So you can only imagine how many people were dying during that time.
And it wasn't just like if you were crazy. Like
No.
If you were gay, you were going in there.
Yeah, so...
Because that was a mental illness at that time.
Yeah, so there was all of that. And then during the 60s and 70s, a lot of the patients during that time were elderly people, alcoholics who were voluntarily committed, and then homeless from Chicago that couldn't find anything and didn't have any documents. And then not only that, but the hospital also took minimus patients, which I didn't really fully know what that meant, but it was basically people who were too insane to go to prison and too dangerous to be released back to the streets. So where do you put them? In a mental hospital, because that makes sense. And they eventually got to the point where, minimus patients were breaking out and leaving, so they had to make another building specifically for those people to keep them all together, and that was in 1977. So, as you could tell, this place was all over the fucking place. Everything was shit. People were using patients as freaking more or less live test subjects for a lot of dumb shit. 1983, they decided to shut down the doors, or were getting ready to, and then in 85 they completely shut down. So, luckily, for only 55 years, people had to suffer through that state mental hospital. However, there's a lot of crazy stuff that happened, because in their 50 years, obviously, there's probably upwards of about at least 10,000 people that probably died in that hospital. And there's a lot of hauntings and paranormal activity that goes on in that building with patients that died there and did a bunch of crazy shit.
I think that was like the first episode for Ghost Hunters, that hospital.
It might have been, but
it sounds like it was. I don't know.
It might
be wrong.
It might have been, but I mean, this place it's like I said, the doors were shut in 1985
when Reagan passed that bill.
Yes, but also there's been some exceptions Like, there's been, like, some movies that have been shot there. There's been some kids that used to live in that town. They used to do, like, their final, like, art projects and shit in that building. Like, they get, like, there's
like My Chemical Romance sleeping in a haunted.
No, like, there's actually, like, some legit cool ass art, very, like, creepy ass art, but nice. It's cool. I can't remember what year it was, but there was a girl or a guy, I can't remember who. They went and because there's this room where it used to be where, like, they would do bathroom stuff and all that, like the bathrooms. And there was 4 bathtubs that were in there. And this person literally took, like, black paint, and they would write all over the walls and wrote inside the bathtubs, and it was like pretty legit. Like, if you looked it up, you'd be able to see it. It's pretty cool, pretty creepy, but pretty cool. And it's kind of just crazy to think that that's what the closest thing that I've had to my town, besides my own personal account of things. And this is going to be a little bit more weird just because this is something that's actually happened to me. So, in the first house that I ever lived in when I was a kid, it was a pretty decently sized house for a family of 5. You know, I mean, my brothers bunked up together. I had my own room. My parents had their own room.
That's because he was the baby.
And
so he just had the baby room because he was last, and they're like, you know what, you can keep it.
Yeah, of course. That's exactly what it was. But we didn't talk about anything until we got to my grandma and grandpa's house that we ended up buying from them when my grandma moved away. And one of my brothers decided to bring up, they were like, hey, do you guys remember when we were kids and there was activity going on in our house? And we looked at my brother and we were like, so you saw it too? Now let me explain that. So we were all young. My oldest brother was 5, middle brother was 4, and I was 3. And we had this, like, little L shape, you know, like a little L, like, going towards the back and all
Not
that.
An uppercase L, but a lowercase L.
No, it was an uppercase L, but it was like a backwards uppercase L, you idiot.
A 7.
A backwards 7.
An upside down 7?
Backwards 7.
What is an L, but what is 7 upside down?
Okay, either way. So, at night, because we used to go to bed, like, I'd say decently late when we were kids. There'd be some nights that we didn't want to go around the corner. Now, for my middle brother, because he originally used to sleep with me because we had bunk beds. He would sleep on the top bunk, I'd sleep on the bottom bunk, you know, that whole thing.
Yep.
But there was one night where he said, I'm not going down to my room, I'm sleeping in other brother's room. And I was like, okay, you know, like, I didn't think about it.
And then you thought about it.
But he kept doing it. And I was like, why does he keep doing that?
Do I smell?
And then...
Do I snore?
And then I finally eventually saw it. There was one day that they both went to bed early and I was still up on my own. My mom, I think, was in the other room doing something. I can't remember what. But when I tell you that I've seen, like, a dark figure, I don't mean like, oh, it's just like the shadow in the corner, you know, it's there. No, I mean, I saw a 6-foot-tall man standing in the corner of that hallway. And plain as day, you could see him. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. Like, he was there. And I realized why my brother didn't want to go down the hallway now to go to bed. And I obviously was in shock, but as soon as my mom saw me, she was like, "Oh, you should be in bed." And I'm like, "Yeah." She turned on the light. Gone. Nothing there. Then she would walk me to my room, tuck me into bed, the whole thing there. And that was the first and last time that I saw him. But that wasn't even the crazy part. The crazy part was when I saw an elderly woman in my living room. And that was like, why are you here? You know? But she ended up taking care of that person in the corner. And after that person in the corner was gone, she was gone too.
I got chills on that.
And then the craziest part about all of it was, because, you know, kids being kids, we told our mom about it, right? Because she was there with us all day, most of the days. And she was like, "What's up with these kids having overactive imaginations," right?
Silly kids.
That's what she thought until one day it happened to her too. She was in bed, falling asleep. And then the next moment, she was pinned down, like, couldn't move anything. And she saw him as well. And she said for the life of her, she was trying to fight, she was trying to scream, she was trying to do anything she could, but she couldn't do it. Not until literally something he must have saw or something came in, and as soon as he saw that, all that pressure and everything was gone. And my dad's the only one that didn't get messed with.
Usually how it goes, yeah.
It was only us four. And my dad, to this day, crazy enough, he tries not to believe that it happened. But it's the ones that where you don't believe it happened, are the ones that are usually like, it did happen. So I think he knows too. He just doesn't want to accept the fact that it happened. So 20 some odd years, or 15 some odd years go by, right? And we bring that story back up, right? The original one where we talked about it in my grandma's kitchen. And my mom goes, "So I think it's about time that we told you about what happened in that house." So a woman and her son used to live in that house. The mom died in the living room because she was in hospice, and her last moments were in that living room. And her son was a bad man, like a really bad dude, like did some bad shit, and ended up taking his own life in that house, in my mom and dad's room where they slept. And that's why he used to hang out in that corner, because it would literally be like, my brother's room was the first door, the second door was my mom and dad's room where the corner was, and then my room was up over here and our bathroom was over there. It's really weird. But to this day, that is the one personal time that I can say that I've seen probably demons and angels all in the same area. And let me tell you, angels are not what you expect.
Not little old ladies.
No. And I get it. Yeah, she was an old woman, but like the face, you can't unsee a face like that. Like I can't even sketch it out for you. It's been so long. But yeah, that's my personal account from what happened to me as a kid.
I got chills from that. I guess it's my turn.
Yes.
All right. Hold on. I'm going to crack my beer, too.
That was better.
All right. So I'm going to start this off with the good old good golly almighty Miss Molly.
Okay.
All right. So if you haven't realized what that means, Miss Molly's Hotel in Fort Worth, Texas. All right. So Miss Molly's Hotel is in the old part of Fort Worth, Texas, which is the stockyards nowadays. All right. If you haven't guessed it by now, I'm from Fort Worth, so I'm going to use this one.
Lame.
Right? Yeah. All right. So for this one, because there is a lot, I actually have to like read some of it too in the process. So Miss Molly's, originally it was a hotel, and then it was made in 1910. And it became a speakeasy, a boarding house,
Brothel?
and a brothel. All in one.
Magic numbers right there.
Yep. And I'll give you a little backstory on that. It was Fort Worth's first bed and breakfast.
Ooh.
As well. So Old Town Fort Worth's bed and breakfast. It has also been featured on the Discovery Channel's Ghost Lab. All right.
Oh.
So if you have heard of it, then or watch Ghost Lab, then you've probably heard of this. All right.
Also, wasn't it in another TV show?
I don't know. Right now it's
Another TV show that you talked to me about?
Oh, yeah. So they also used it for 1883 as well. So the whole Yellowstone 1883, they used Miss Molly's Hotel during a couple of the scenes as well, because during that movie they went to Fort Worth and to the stockyards.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And paved the thing back out with dirt down in the stockyards, because the stockyard still looks similar to what it looked like back in the early 1900s. But moving on from there, so this, like I said, it's been featured on Ghost Lab, which means there's a TV show already made about it as well. All right. This thing has had so many hauntings because of the fact of the visitors that have been there from 1910 all the way through World War II, and then so on and so forth. It's still an active hotel to this day. All right. The rooms in this hotel look exactly the same as they did back in the day. So it gives you that old country style.
Yeah, you're describing
vibe.
a Copper Queen right now.
Yeah. That old country style, the wooden bedpost, single
house
bed, little house on the prairie style thing. It hasn't changed. There's still the old pictures hung up in the staggered thing, and whatever. So long story short, going through this one, so there's so many ghost sightings in this thing because it's so old and still active to this day. So Miss Molly's Hotel. And I will say there's some residents, there's some cowboys, there's some poltergeists, but one of the biggest ones was, that was kind of creepy.
The ghosts are back.
Yeah, the ghosts are back.
It's the ghost.
Hopefully,
children.
it wasn't that black cat that was sitting out the window right there.
Why am I all wet, Mommy?
Jesus!
Why did you leave me, Mommy?
Oh God!
So it says the ghost of Miss Molly's Hotel. All right, and it says, so one of the sightings that people have seen throughout this hotel, lights flicker, of course, your standard lights come on, go off, toilets flush on their own, change is left in different rooms, and your cell phone batteries and any batteries will drain instantly on phones.
That's gotta be so inconvenient.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, let me get a picture of this ghost
fucking
real quick.
ghost. Hold on.
Fuck.
My battery's gone. Yeah.
Can you just wait? Let me just find my charger real quick.
So they will say one of the most popular ghosts is the poltergeist Jake the Cowboy. All right. There was a lady that used to work there. She was actually the manager. Her name was Paula Goins. She took the post after several months of hauntings. The hotel has been put up several times because of the fact that the residents and like the people that own the hotel have just had enough of the
hauntings.
So they put it on the market. It's been bought, back and forth up till now. And one of the general managers of the hotel, like I said, was named Paula Goins, and she said she met Jake the Cowboy the first time as she was standing desk clerk, and he walked down the hall into a room, shut the door behind him, and she said she went up and knocked on the door. Nobody answered, and the door was still locked. She had to open it with a key, and there was nobody there. She said during this one, he walked down the hall, door opened, closed, but it was still locked.
Jake, you dick.
So that one, what's kind of funny about that one is that Miss Goins actually opened up with that tale to the Dallas-Fort Worth, so NBC of the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and told that story to the people as well, so across the Metroplex. Another is the Mysterious Madam. They call her the Mysterious Madam. It says the spectacular apparition of the former maiden was Josie King, and she was someone that worked at the brothel as well.
Oh, a lady of the night.
Yes, a lady of the night. It is confirmed that King had been sighted many times, usually at 3 a.m. at the foot of your bed.
Did she rub your feet?
I don't know. But they said that the apparition would sit there and watch you sleep.
That's comforting. Someone cares.
She would show up on your bed and watch you sleep. Now another one, they have one that's called the Paranormal Activity in Room 3. So this one actually is one of the most TripAdvisor reviews rave places to go in Miss Molly's hotel, Paranormal Activity. And they said that someone from Tulsa, Oklahoma wrote that one spirit, the bed had a spirit sit on it in the middle of the night while the other bed was shaking by the spirit in the middle of the night. So basically a spirit comes in there in room 3, sits on the bed, and shakes it.
What a dick. Trying to sleep.
Now, this one was what I was getting to. This one's one of my favorites, and I don't know why I like this one. The Tipping Ghost. So this one I'm going to actually read through. It says, the Tipping Ghost is another frequent sighting at the hotel, known for leaving spare change. One cleaning lady allegedly quit after the Tipping Ghost became too much for her to bear. Perhaps that's why patrons should be advised to tip the cleaning lady. So basically,
how would you get mad at somebody that gave you money, though?
But it's a ghost.
Yeah, but it's not like it's not money. It's not leprechaun gold. It just disappears, you know?
I don't know.
I just can't take this goddamn ghost coming in here, leaving me spare change.
How would you know it's not leprechaun gold?
Because they would say it was leprechaun gold. It'd be the Tipping Ghost leaves change that disappears.
Well, anyway, so another ghost that's there, and also, mind you, being someone that's a fan of college football as well, the Texas Christian University Paranormal Activity Department has done several ghost readings across this hotel. So TCU, and it's probably more what you're familiar with, Gingy.
The Horned Froggies.
Yeah, the Horned Frogs, the Texas Christian University.
Why is a Christian college looking into ghosts?
I don't know. They actually have apparently they have a whole
to see if there's a path to God.
Paranormal activity.
Right now?
So, majority of these ghost sightings and everything because the hotel was actually a brothel back in the day, and they said that they had numerous cowboys that would come in there and
Oh,
they do that, and then they'd also end up killing the what'd you call them?
Prostitutes.
Ladies of the night.
Thank you. That's the nice way of saying it, sweetheart.
Yeah, but everybody knows they're fucking prostitutes.
They're people, okay? It's the oldest profession.
Sorry that Jane got fucking killed.
Are you like secretly the Ripper?
No.
So I will describe this hotel a little bit because it is kind of cool. So Miss Molly's comprised of 8 rooms featuring authentic Western decor. They pride themselves on the absence of televisions and telephones, allowing patrons to soak up all authentically historical experiences. Visitors will even find wooden stoves, old-fashioned bathtubs, and pull-chain toilets.
Basically, if you think you're a fucking cowboy, just go.
Meet Jake, the cowboy.
Yeah, the one that walks into fucking rooms.
The one that just locks doors behind him.
Well, opens locked doors.
He opens them, walks in, locks it behind him, and then he laughs as the lady walks up there and unlocks the door.
He's like, watch this, guys.
It's going to fuck her day up.
Now, I'm not going to lie. How would you guys feel about sleeping in somewhere like this?
I have.
I'd do it.
Well, you said you talked about Copperhead.
Copper Queen.
Or Copper Queen, same thing.
So, I cannot, for the life of me, to remember what the town was in Arizona right now. But, so, I would work the night shift, so 11 o'clock to 7 o'clock in the morning.
See, no.
Yeah, well, this is back in the day when I was a
Talking
single
about
airman.
shift work.
Sucks. But my friends are like, hey, we're going to check out Tombstone, and we're going to go to this one place in Arizona, and it has a haunted hotel called the Copper Queen, and we're going to stay there. And I'm like, sounds fun. When are we going? Right after you get off work. I'm like, fuck. So we go to fucking Tombstone. I'm living off of fucking 4 monsters and praying that I stay awake. We get to the Copper Queen, and everyone's like, hey, we're going to get dinner, because they had a restaurant at the hotel where they served like old-timey meals for the era, right? And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to fucking go to bed and take a quick power nap and get through the night. And they're like, yeah, cool. Well, then we're going to look for ghosts. And I'm like, cool, yeah, whatever. So they go down there. They leave the key. It was old school, so they only had like a fucking metal key. They leave the key with me, and there's only one key to the fucking room. I kick off my shoes, turn on the TV, sit there, and sure enough, fucking Tombstone's on, and I'm watching Tombstone after we just were there. And I was like, oh, I remember that street. Fucking, yeah. I fall asleep. All I know is I wake up, and I wake up because I'm fucking freezing. It is so fucking cold. The AC was on fucking 50 degrees. When I fell asleep, it was a cool 70. It was on 50 degrees. The shoes that I had on, I kicked off. I just let them lay wherever. Was neatly placed at the head of the bed. Right next to where I was sleeping. And fucking all the window curtains were shut. Because I fell asleep with the lights on. I remember falling asleep with the lights on. All the lights were off and the TV was turned off. Everything was just shut off. I was like, what the fuck? So I called my friend and he's like, yeah, we're still down here. And I've only been asleep for like 20 minutes.
Nice.
Fucking, and then I saw there's 3 ghosts there, plus some other ones, but the 3 prominent ones is the kid. And if you leave like little toys out, like a ball and jacks and stuff, he'll play with it. Or if you leave spare change out, he'll take the money. I think that's just a cleaning lady, but whatever. There's Gracie, who fell in love with one of the miners, but he died in the mine in an accident, and she hung herself in one of the rooms. And then the stovetop guy. Nobody knows who the stovetop guy is, but he has the old Lincoln stovetop hat.
Mm-hmm.
and you'll see him like walking around, or he'll just be in your room randomly. We saw him, but we didn't see any of the other ghosts.
So I'll tell you another one, and I actually have two quick ones on top of that. So one of the ones is actually at TCU. So I'm not going to name off the buildings because of the fact that I don't want people, like, copyright wise. So, but anyway, so there's the building, and it's one of the older buildings at TCU. So while the thing was being built, they had one of the construction workers that fell.
He was pushed.
Well, whatever. He fell from the top portion of this this building. He died, of course, on impact. All right. Now, there was a painting that was painted after it was of the two people that the building is named after. All right. The woman in the building she was painted to look where he fell. So her eyes in the painting look at where this man fell from the top of these rafters and died. There was one day while I was there, later that night, went through this whole like ghost / like walkthrough and everything. And just to kind of fuck around and find out, because that building's haunted over there too. And of course, she's still looking up there. Now the next day, when I walked back through the building and looked at that painting, because it's a big fucking mural painting, I noticed that the eyes of the painting were looking at you.
Oh, that means the ghost is following you around.
So that was one of my creepy experiences with that building over at TCU. Normally she looks up. Today I looked at it because you can't miss this painting. And it's like I walked by it, and of course you just kind of glance over. And of course that instant glance made me regret looking at that fucking painting. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden I noticed that she was looking at me. And I was like, and now I am done.
Did she give you a wink?
No. I probably would have shit my pants right like right then and there. I would have needed new fucking underwear. Now the next one I'm going to use, because this one actually happened to me while I was in the Navy. Right? So
in the Navy.
My first boat was it was a frigate. It was made in the 1970s. Pretty sure people had died, whatever, on this boat too. It was also featured in The Hunt for Red October as well. Well, I was standing out there. We're on deployment, and I'm standing out there. This is back when I used to smoke, like cigarettes wise.
I always wondered how you guys did that on the boat. Like, do you guys have like
you have to go outside and do it, and there's like a designated like area out there. So out to sea on days it can be pitch black. Like when there's like a new moon, there's no moon. There's no like you can still see stars. But it does not light things up enough out there for you to see anything. The only thing that you have is on like weather decks wise is nothing, because most Navy ships don't show any light topside.
You could see it from a mile away.
You can see it so white light can be shown forever. So all the interior is red light, and then so on and so forth. I was working nights. I went up to go smoke real quick, and I'm out there. You can hear the waves crashing, but I kid you not, man, you could not see anything. Like, you could wave your hand in front of your face. Your hand's there, but you can't see it. And I'm standing out there, and I heard up at the windbreak because this frigate had two windbreaks on the port and starboard side of the ship. All right. I heard the door open. Couldn't see anything because it was just it's pitch black. I'm out there smoking, whatever, and I felt a tap on my shoulder, and I thought it was like someone that like wanted my lighter or wanted a smoke or whatever. So I held out both, like my lighter and my cigarette pack. Didn't hear anything, so I was like, okay, cool. And then I felt that like on my shoulder again, And I was like, what the fuck? And so I like started clicking the lighter, trying to get him to see, because you can still see the sparks from the lighter, trying to get him to go, here, like, here's my lighter. I even said it. I was like, here's my lighter, here's my smokes, like, reach for him. Nothing. And then finally I clicked my lighter to like light it and looked around. There was absolutely nothing there. And I kid you not, it felt like someone legitly like, you know, when someone taps on your shoulder, like you're standing at the fucking gas station or whatever. Hey man, how you doing? Whatever. No, that's what it felt like. And when I lit that lighter, there was nothing there. And I heard that door open. I felt something. It was one of the most creepiest experiences I've ever had. Like, just in general, where you're out there by yourself at like 2 a.m. So, I don't know how you guys are feeling. Meatball's on his phone.
I'm trying to find the TCU thing.
I've seen Ghost. I believe in Ghost.
Oh, I do too.
I've played with the Ouija board.
I haven't done that.
My grandmother.
I don't really want to.
She has a gypsy soul. She taught me how to read palms, and fucking she had a Ouija board. She did that with us, and like it knew things that my grandmother didn't fucking know.
Was little Gingy being caught watching porn?
No, it knew the girl I had a crush on.
I don't know. I absolutely believe in the paranormal and like that kind of everything.
It's fun too.
But
it's very fun.
But I don't like going to scary movies. And
No.
And anybody that listened to my initial pilot episode, my wife's initial pilot episode of Staying Terrified, if you did, whatever, if you didn't, I even said that. I hate going to scary movies. I don't like scary movies. Now, I will watch like a slasher movie, like the blood gore, because it's dumb. But I don't like scary movies. Yeah, possession
movies.
Psychological thrillers.
I think the last scary movie that I've seen was The Woman in Black with Daniel Radcliffe.
I have that one. Yeah.
I don't like them. Like I don't want to go to a movie to be scared. And
I like being scared. It's weird.
Well, anyway, it just doesn't. It's not fun. Becca doesn't mind them. She would. Bex. I caught myself.
But I like the ones that actually like are movies, not just the ones where it's like, oh, you know, this person's gonna die.
My Bloody Valentine.
I've never seen that one.
Oh, it's so
but
fucking stupid.
The ones where it's like, oh, all right, this is typical. I know what's gonna happen. You know, those kinds of ones are the ones that I'm like, nope, I don't want to watch these. The dumb, stupid ones.
Yeah, the ones that I hate, the possession ones, are the ones I like the most too. At the same time, like that one with
those ones
Hannibal Lecter
creep me out.
What was it called? Was it the possession or priest?
And I'm not gonna lie, Paisley makes this face sometimes, and I know it's her trying to be cute, but that face creeps me out. Like, she'll like put her head down and look up at you with her eyes and smile at you, and it's her trying to be cute and get out of trouble from whatever it is that she's doing and she's not supposed to be doing. But it reminds me of someone who's like possessed.
The Exorcist?
Yes. Like, it creeps me out, and I just tell her all the time, I'm like, that's creepy, stop. Like, and yeah, I know she has no idea what she's doing. She thinks she's being cute. But I'm like, it's not cute, stop.
Yeah. I think weirdly for me, I got exposed to God damn it.
Hey, Batman.
That's Robin, actually.
Actually, it's Mr. Incredible. Thank you.
You.
Yeah.
Either way. I got exposed to horror movies pretty early in my life. I will say, actually, the first horror movie that wasn't actually a movie that I got exposed to was a 2-part TV series. And if you can guess the name, you're the winner. It was it.
Yep.
I was told as a kid, because it was my brother and one of his friends, they were like, "Oh, dude, this is a comedy movie. It's going to be hilarious."
It's got a clown in it.
And I was like, "Oh, okay, comedy movie, whatever, right?" No. That clown was creepy as shit.
We'll get into clowns later for me.
I mean, there probably won't be a later, but we'll talk about that one offline. But
I meant in later episodes.
Yeah, that was a fun experience. I was only 5. You know, no big deal or anything.
I think part of the I got exposed to scary movies young too.
Are you afraid of the dark?
Yeah, I mean, I used to wake up super early on the weekends just to watch Goosebumps and Are You Afraid of the Dark?
See, Goosebumps isn't that bad, though.
No, it's not. But, and then...
Haunted Mask is still one of my favorites.
I used to read those books, and I would always go to the last chapter, read the last chapter first, so I knew what was the end of it, so I wouldn't be scared of the book.
That's cheating.
Yeah, well, I was a kid.
Well, yeah.
It was my way to get around it, but because I got scared of the books. Like, it really... Like, the Mud People one.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that one still sticks with me today.
Yeah, like when I was little, not super little, but my brothers and my dad, my brothers did Boy Scouts and like Cub Scouts, so my dad would go camping with them on weekends for their weekend campouts and stuff. And when they would be gone, my mom and I would go to, back in the day when you'd go rent videos, we'd
Blockbuster.
Those are good old
for a
days.
nickel.
Blockbuster, and there was a little mom and pop video store by our house that was called Video Joy. We'd go there.
I had one of those at-home videos.
Stop.
Shut up.
That was what it was called.
Oh.
I don't care. Bex was telling her story.
I
You need a new
thought
lung
you were
over
being
there.
funny. But yeah, my mom and I, we would rent videos, go rent scary movies, because my dad didn't like scary movies. So we'd go rent scary movies. And I feel like this is something I'll end up doing with Kenzie, because she will legit sit here and watch scary videos on YouTube. And she wants to sit there and watch scary things. But
I think that's a woman thing.
I don't know. I mean, she wanted to go
scared.
through the scary haunted house thing at the trunk or treat last night. She was begging me to take her. We ended up not going because we were trying to get through the trunk or treat and get over to TNT to go do the crafts and stuff. But she legit really wanted to do it. And she went on the scary bus and walked through that and stuff. But no, yeah, my mom and I, we used to rent scary movies and have a scary movie marathon weekend. And at night we'd stay up late and watch scary movies. And we would have snacks and basically not actually legitly eat dinner, but just do finger food snacks and stuff like that.
Hey, this podcast isn't that late. I'm going to need you to stop.
Yeah.
Been up early.
I think if anything, the one horror movie that I could go back and watch many a time, mostly because I already had done it when I was a kid, is Saw, actually.
Well, that's what I meant
That's a gore.
by slasher gore.
That's a psychological horror movie, actually.
I've always viewed it as a gore movie. I never thought it was scary. It's just gross.
So yes,
Yeah, that's basically what I meant.
Yeah, it's over the top
Yeah.
with some of the stuff, but it's the sense of trying to win back your freedom in a way. It's actually really good film.
What was the one with Leonardo DiCaprio that he actually got an
Shutter
Oscar?
Island.
Yeah, I watched that.
I like that
That
one.
one, surprisingly, we actually liked that one.
Shutter Island's a great movie.
why I like scary movies, though, because most
Well,
of the time
that's more of a
mysteries.
thriller. That one's a thriller too.
And you're trying to solve the mystery with them as they,
And you feel very dumbfounded at the end. Sorry, we're not spoiling that movie if you've never seen that movie.
I will say the one
it's
movie.
Watch it.
The one movie that did fuck me up hard though, like, because like I've been watching scary movies and I was like, okay, I can get used to them now. The one that did fuck me up as a kid though was, besides it, obviously, Dead Silence.
Yeah. Oh man.
So, Dead Silence, like a quick synopsis. The woman named Mary Shaw, she's a puppeteer. She dies. She has 1,000 dolls. One of them comes.
No, thank you.
Yeah, basically, one of them is
possessed,
and yeah, more or less, you can go from there.
Mine was The Exorcism of Emily Rose.
That
I would wake up at 3 o'clock every night for 2 weeks straight.
So
freaking the fuck out.
So you want to hear some crazy shit though, and not to date my old man here, but he's let me put it like this: he was able to watch Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street in theaters.
Nice.
So
that's not that long ago. It was 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not long.
I mean, he's your dad, so
that makes sense.
I mean, I was born in the late 80s, so
okay. So when my dad was in his 20s, does that help?
Yeah, now you put an age next to it.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Is that better?
Yeah.
So when he was in his 20s, he was able to see both of those movies in theater. And he said to this day, those two movies are still one of the scariest fucking movies he's ever seen.
See, the thing is, I watch those Nightmare on Elm Street movies and I laugh because it's so fucking funny.
But here's the thing, though. You got to think about it at the time, right? There wasn't really anything as crazy as what was going on then.
So, I'm not going to lie. When I was in high school, my senior year of high school, I went and saw the movie The Fog. In theaters. In theaters.
The Fog.
And I've told Kill this story.
Oh.
Did he make the right decision?
It. But, yeah, I went and saw it in theaters with a friend. And it wasn't, it was a creepy movie. But it wasn't that bad. And then, like, the next, I feel like we went, like, on a Friday or a Saturday night. And then that next, like, Monday morning.
There was fog?
Yeah. Well, no. So, there was. But I was in band. I was in marching band. And we went out at, like, it was, 6:30, 7 o'clock, whatever, in the morning. And there was so much fog on the field that you couldn't see very far in front of you.
And you were like, it's happening.
Yeah, like that all of a sudden, that made me think that movie was even creepier than it was. Because he and I were like, what the hell? Like, why is it that we just watched this movie and then now, today, it is this foggy out here?
So I'll say the one, since you went with that, and like he knows because I've said it on a show before. I hate clowns. Clowns are just not my fucking...
So you're not a fan of John Wayne Gacy?
I actually have a fun fact about him, and we will come back to that after this.
The clowns are just not my cup of tea. And it started when my dad made me watch...
This Halloween.
Made me
Attack of the Killer Clowns.
Yes. No, it was Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Yeah,
and
Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
It's actually a comedy, weirdly, and it's not scary, especially if you watch it as an adult. But I watched it when I was probably Kinsey's age with my dad, and it just
scarred.
Yeah,
me.
It scarred him or me. Yeah, scarred me.
So you're gonna play the game that comes out soon?
No.
You gotta attack this fear.
No.
We gotta get through this together.
Clowns just don't, like, I've never seen the It movies, and I will never see the It movies. and because that movie just scarred me, where they were having him in like the fucking like egg sack things, and they were sticking fucking like basically a straw.
We all float down here, Georgie.
Yeah, I get you though. So, John Wayne Gacy, by the way. So when I was getting processed in,
I seriously thought you were going to say pregnant. When I was getting pregnant.
So when I was getting processed in, the place that I was getting processed at is actually like two city blocks away from where John Wayne Gacy used to live.
Oh, his house is definitely fucking haunted.
No.
Oh, those dead bodies underneath the floors.
Not at all.
So, have any of you three seen the Jeepers Creepers movies?
Yeah.
My brother watched that religiously. He loved those movies.
I like those movies, but when I was a kid,
Jeepers,
they actually scared me.
Where'd you get those peepers?
It would actually scare me when
Where'd you get those
all this stuff
eyes?
would pop out.
Yeah, no, I mean...
But they're good movies.
No, they're great movies. It's just like... Ew.
They're just creepy.
Ew.
It's this
Yeah.
fucking demon that disguised itself as a fucking scarecrow.
Yeah, and I only come back every 7 years to harvest all the children. No big deal.
Those body parts.
Was it 7 years or was it longer than that? I thought it was
7
6.
years.
I'm pretty sure it was every
I think
7
it was
years.
every 7,
Like,
yeah.
I remember distinctly at the end of one movie, like the 7-year mark is getting close, and they have him pinned against a wall with a bunch of guns pointed at him, waiting for him to wake up.
And not only that, I'm pretty sure when they made every movie, too, I'm pretty sure it was like 7 years spread out from each other. Isn't that about right?
I don't remember.
I don't know. Yeah.
The first one's actually not too bad. Like the original
the first one's not that bad.
Jeepers Creepers isn't too bad.
The second one was really creepy. I did not like
I'm
the
curious.
flying monsters.
I'm
You see,
curious
since you guys were talking about this, and I left for a second and then came back. The only thing that popped into my head when y'all were talking about how like dumb scary movies can be is it reminds me of what the Allstate or the Progressive commercials were like. Just get in the running car, and then like, you know, they're all like hiding behind chainsaws. Sorry, go ahead, Meatball.
All right, so I am incorrect on that. So Jeepers Creepers was made in 01. The second one was made in 03. The third one was made in 2017. And then the fourth one, I guess, is what we're technically calling it, because it doesn't say 4, it says Reborn, was made in 2022.
Didn't they kill it in like every single fucking movie?
You can't kill it.
Yeah,
you just
but you can't
stop it.
kill it.
You just stop it.
I've actually never seen the last two, though.
Which one wasn't it the first one that they like cut his wings off and everything like that? And like
The first one, he survived, and they do that scene at the very end where they do the Jeepers Creepers song, and then where'd you get like one of the actors had like these distinct blue eyes, and where'd you get those eyes? And then like he opens his eyes and you see the kid's eyes like in his eyes sockets.
which one am I thinking about? The one where they nailed him to like a barn or whatever?
That's the one I was talking about. I think that's the second one.
I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's the second one, because I know I haven't seen the last one.
I've seen the last two.
And then I'm pretty sure I haven't seen the third one either. I think I've only seen the first two.
Well, guess what? We should have a movie night. And I'll even pick a fucking movie. Well, not I will pick a movie, but I will stay for a fucking scary movie.
The scariest dreams you've ever had.
Please,
and then he's
as
going
long
to
as
make
it's
me
not
sleep with all the lights in the house.
Yeah, you
on.
right. Yeah, you fucking right. We're watching it with the lights on. What the fuck do you think this is?
I said you're going to make me sleep with all the lights on.
Sleeping?
In the bedroom.
Yeah.
He's like, sleep? What's sleep after that?
You want to know what my scariest movie would be?
Sure.
A Serbian film.
Zombie ass.
The Human Centipede. Where did we go from here?
Well, we could go scariest dreams.
Oh, I don't want to go there either.
Yeah, if I tell you my scariest dream, we will not be able to air this one.
I'll tell mine.
Oh boy.
How about we save
Save
scariest
that.
dreams for our next episode when we are going live with the Oregon Trail. That's right. You heard it here first. We are going to go live with the Oregon Trail. It'll be coming out next week.
Friday.
Next week, Friday.
We will put out the time on our midweek episode.
We will be giving a midweek episode just so you guys are up to date and so you guys know. We are on a different time schedule than a lot of our listeners, so this is kind of like hey, this is when it's going to happen, this is the time. Live stream will be up at this time.
And then also the day of the live stream, we will also put up an episode that morning.
Just
a quick getting everybody ready.
Just to make sure that everybody's good to go and understands that we are doing it.
And this time it will be live.
Yes.
Yes, we figured out our technical difficulties.
It was me. I was the technical difficulty.
That's a technical foul.
Great movie.
Great movie.
Little Nicky.
No.
Anyway, Meatball, why don't you tell us where they can find us?
Anyway, guys, you can find us on YouTube, obviously, at Getting Weird Pod. That is the full thing, like the @ symbol and then Getting Weird Pod. You can find our Facebook group page. We do have that. And Bex and Gingy will be sending messages back if you guys want. They'll interact with you, get in touch with you, all of that. Gingy more on the YouTube side than the Facebook group page side, and then Bex more on the Facebook group page side than the YouTube side. If you want to find myself on Instagram, you can find me at MeatballGW. If you would like to find Kill on Instagram, you can find him at
KillGW7.
And again, if you want to try and find Gingy on Instagram, you cannot.
Never.
But thank you all again for joining us on this pre-Halloween episode. We hope you all enjoyed, because it was spooktacular.
Jesus. That was corny.
And
also, if Sorry. Go.
Now I feel offended because you're just taking my shit every fucking time. All I wanted to say is thank you for listening, and thank you for getting weird with us.
This has been kind of weird, though.
It was weird.
Anyway, guys, if you do have your favorite scary movie, or one that scared the piss out of you guys,
or a story that you want to tell,
or a movie that you think Kill should watch.
Oh boy, is this going to be the new trend of the podcast? Make Kill watch a fucking scary movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
Make Kill not be a bitch.
God damn it. Bitch.
But we'll take anything at this point.
Go comment on the YouTube, send us a message, do something. And if you're watching this on YouTube, leave that comment and like it and ring the bell. I don't know what the bell does, but it rings something.
And if you're not on YouTube or any of that, you can go ahead and contact us on the Facebook group page. You can contact us on Instagram. Send him instant messages. He'll be more than happy to read them. Trust me on that one.
I love things when they go into my DMs.
Haha.
Never mind.
Weird.
Anyway, guys, at first, if you don't succeed,
consecrate the grounds, hire an exorcist.
Didn't you like our hats that we just made?
Yeah, I told you I did.
Oh, good.
I'm going to wear it tomorrow.
Yeah, we have new Getting Weird hats.
Tuesday.
They're nice.
Getting Weird hats.
Anyway, at first, if you don't succeed, that was random, though. Sorry. At first, if you don't succeed, make sure that you destroy all of the evidence. Good night, guys. We will see you next week for the live podcast. Boom.